All right, well, we're moving on now to something obviously not very happy news. It's actually very terrible, which was the passing of Silver King this past weekend in London. He died in the ring at the age of 51. He was wrestling Juventud Guerrera, and this was for the Lucha Libre's world promotion, the greatest show of Lucha Libre. He died in the ring. It's still not for sure exactly what happened, but it is said that he had a stroke in the ring, and basically what happened afterwards has spurred a lot of, I guess you can say, opinions or controversies with how everything was carried out. What you should know is that afterwards it did take some time for him to receive medical assistance, medical help. The match did finish off, and the rest of the show was canceled though, but there is some controversy considering how long it took.
What do you mean the match did finish off?
Well,
was there more than it wasn't a singles match?
After his the match, like Hoovy still got his pin, did his celebration. That's what I meant by the match finished, and then afterwards the show was canceled.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but basically the controversy is that, it took so long for Silver King to get assistance that, some may wonder, what if there was, some doctor or an EMT or whatever, someone there nearby that could have maybe perhaps saved his. I don't know if his life could have been saved, but some people have been raising that question. Yeah. But a little bit about him is, he was the son of Dr. Wagner, brother of Dr. Wagner Jr., which many said that he was actually one of the better of the two brothers.
Yeah. Definitely was okay. I'll wait till you finish.
No worries. Okay, well, just some other facts. He's been wrestling since 1985. Wrestled in different promotions in Mexico: UWA, CMLL, AAA, and he was wrestling in WCW in 1997.
Yes. And he so in 1991, I started going to Japan for Universal Pro Wrestling, which I'm not sure if you're familiar with, but it was the precursor to Toriumon and Dragon Gate. Mm-hmm. Which I think you're probably familiar with, right?
Right.
So it was El Gran Hamada was like the star, and then they had Ultimo Dragon. Before he was Ultimo Dragon, was the number one young main eventer of Universal Pro, and then he was signed by anyways. Mm-hmm. So I was the first American to go for the for Universal Pro, and other than that, it was just their Japanese talent and all luchadors, all Mexican, all the greats. Dos Caras, Hijo del Santo, Blue Demon Jr., you name it. Villanos. I could just every tour, there was somebody, just the best, right? And it was at a time when Mexico had devalued the peso, so shit was tough down there, anyways, so yes, I got to know those guys real well. We spent a lot of time together. Silver King Tejano as they were called Los Cowboys. Yeah. And they were one of the greatest teams of their era. At the time that I was going over, I think they were one of the top 5 teams in the world.
Well, they were wrestling a modern lucha style, yes. And at this point, you weren't really seeing Mexicans being booked in the States. And one of the things that I was listening to when Dave spoke about Silver King was he said that the thing about Silver King was that he attracted both audiences. Yes. Obviously, American fans have a different view of lucha and a different view of wrestling versus Mexican fans. And he spoke about how certain guys sometimes, if you bring in an American guy to in front of a Mexican audience, you can be turned off, and vice versa. But Silver King, he said, was one of the people that actually was able to captivate both the American audience and the Mexican audience.
And the Japanese.
Exactly, because of his style and how he was able to work.
Yeah, hybrid style. Both of those guys. And because I also work with Hijo del Santo and a little bit like Blue Demon. Well, not so much Blue Demon Jr. because he does a pretty good job of adjusting to American style. But Hijo del Santo, I had to just try to adjust completely to him, from working the other side, right. We worked the left side, they worked the right, and and it was so weird. Not that he's not great, but so it wasn't a good mix. Whereas I fucking felt right at home in there with, Silver King. Matter of fact, you watch BS 1-2-3 Kid. And matches I had with Sean, different guys, you'll see me do the Silver King spot where I run the parallel to the ropes, jump off to the second turnbuckle, and like vault over to the side out onto the guy on the floor. That's Silver Kings all day long. I never see anyone but like I think he invented it, and I stole it. And, yeah, and just also like I tweeted a match last night. It was myself, Jerry Lynn, and Dr. Wagner Jr., who was amazing. And when you say they say Silver King was the better of the two, maybe in some ways. I don't know, like, in some ways he was. He did a lot of cooler shit, but man, Wagner is fucking so great. So like, I don't know. But anyways, the match I just seen up there, and it's me, Jerry, and Wagner Jr. versus Dos Caras and the Cowboys. And actually, if you see the beginning, Silver King broke my fucking eardrum. Because like we had a miscommunication, like, and it was kind of like, and so like I slapped him in the chest, and he cuffed me, and I don't think he did on purpose, but it caught me right in the ear. Like I could whistle out of I could plug my nose and blow my nose, and you could hear a whistle coming out my ears.
Yikes.
Yeah. So, anyways, but yeah. And when I lived in Mexico and worked for AAA, and Silver King came to work there, he used to give me rides and stuff sometimes, and just it was so great that when I lived in Mexico, a lot of American guys go down there, right, and they're lost, they don't know anyone, and I had this relationship with all the great guys in fucking Lucha Libre, all those guys, and I'm so grateful for it, and they were so good to me. Fuck. Oh, I just felt so bad for, I think about the families. I think about the mother. Like I saw Wagner post a picture of his, those two with their masks on, and his mother, and I also, fuck. I still have matches, and I'll be 47 in July. And, sometimes I have tag matches now for this very reason. Sometimes it's tough out there. And if you don't think that I don't fucking think about this happening to me, like, you're wrong. So, not that anyone necessarily thinks that or not. I just, like, I do. Shit can happen really bad out there. We're going out there trying to do this, and we love this, and it's so rewarding for us too, and we love doing it for all of you. But this is what's going to happen. Let's not start blaming people for whatever, but let's have some fucking safety measures in place, I've been in situations. I remember one time a kid kicked me in the throat, and like literally my throat blows up. It was like a Scott Steiner thing that happened in Puerto Rico where he had to have emergency surgery. I didn't have to have surgery, but my larynx was fucked. I couldn't breathe, and I'm fucking yelling, help me, call the fucking ambulance. And they just looked at me like I was stupid, and nobody did anything. I'm telling the referee, and I was like, oh, what do I do? And I get it. You don't know what to do because you haven't been trained on what to do. You haven't been properly fucking trained. And everyone thinks this is some little shit where you can, just throw a ring up and grab a guy and say, hey, you're the fucking ref. You've seen it done on TV. Count to three, not think about the fact that something like this can happen and has happened. This shit it's not the first fucking time this kind of shit has happened, and who knows if there's, if a paramedic would have been on hand, let's have some fucking safety measures in place, I've been in situations. I remember one time a kid kicked me in the throat, and like literally my throat blows up. It was like a Scott Steiner thing that happened in Puerto Rico where he had to have emergency surgery. I didn't have to have surgery, but my larynx was fucked. I couldn't breathe, and I'm fucking yelling, help me, call the fucking ambulance. And they just looked at me like I was stupid, and nobody did anything. The referee, I'm telling the referee, and I was like, oh, what do I do? What do I do? And I get it. You don't know what to do because you haven't been trained on what to do. You haven't been properly fucking trained. And everyone thinks this is some little shit where you can like